Hey guys, what's going on? Coming at you with a Saturday morning video. Yesterday was a very rough day in the market, clearly. So I just wanted to basically label this title as market tanking. So getting right into it, the Dow finished one of the major indices, the S&P Dow and NASDAQ finished very red. This is one of the worst days I've had in the market, I think, in history. Dow finished down 2.8%, S&P finished down 2.7%, NASDAQ finished down 2.5%, and my portfolio finished down 4%. So I think in the past couple days, I've lost over probably 8%, maybe 9% of my portfolio, which hurts. It is a lot of money when you look at it in the grand scheme of things. It's something that can mentally get to you, but you really shouldn't let it get to you if you're a long-term investor, which I am. You just got to kind of you just got to mentally keep it together, believe in your conviction, believe, that, this pain will end one day. So that's how you got to keep reminding yourself. Don't panic sell. Don't stop buying. You always want to be in a position of power and cash. This is probably one of the first times in the past couple of years where I've really thought to myself, how much cash do I want to put in right now? Because if I go in all, I got to chip at it very, very, very slowly. So I'm just being very cautious. I'm more of a conservative investor when it comes to going all in. Usually my all in, I leave a 10% cash buffer for an emergency all in. So I'm at, right now I'm at 15%. So I'm kind of on that window of considering dropping 5% of my cash in and going all in unless we have a major U-turn or a recession down the road or whatever, because I always want to have 10% to really take advantage of that stuff. Right now, I feel most companies are insanely good deals. I'll list off a couple at the end of the video that I really like that had really negative days today that just to put in perspective how down these companies are. So yeah, my thoughts are basically you just need to stay mentally tough, keep at it. The market, no matter what it does, it's not going to shake me out. I believe the SPY finished around 430 today. I think all-time lows are 417. That was the March section. Could I see it hitting 417? Absolutely. The QQQ, that's the NASDAQ that tracks the NASDAQ. I believe it was I know 330 was close to the bottom. I believe it's under that. Let me pull it up and just check because now I'm curious. But these guys are basically at the zero Fibonacci retracements of where I ran them from all-time highs in the beginning of the year down to March lows. So the QQQ is at 324.17. I think, okay, so the bottom of that zero Fib retracement is 317. So we're really close. The SPY is at, where's the SPY? The SPY is at 424.24, and the bottom there was 417. So we're pretty close to that zero Fib line in both the NASDAQ and S&P 500. If it I have a feeling if Monday opens red or there's more fear about all the big earnings coming up, I'll talk about that in a second. I could see it bouncing off that 0% Fib retracement Monday, and then it's gonna kind of just stay a little like this, and then see how all the earnings next week go. It's gonna go, if companies miss or they say in their earnings calls that they see a lot of pain coming, or consumer spending slowing down, the market's going to fall under the Fib line, in my opinion. If there's good news like Tesla, they're optimistic, they don't see a consumer slowing in spending, it's either going to stay the same or go up. That's my opinion on what the market's going to do. So you got to hedge accordingly based on what you think. So Friday, I did not buy any stocks. There were a lot of good deals in the market, but I was just thinking about next week how I'd rather save that money, and most of my positions that I really like are fully built out, minus Nvidia. Square, I could add a little more. But if they go up from here, I'm cool. I'm happy with my cost base and my position. If they really go down or correct, I just want to be in a power position with cash and take advantage and average cost down. So kind of a win-win if you look at it that way. Next week, there are big earnings. A lot of, the FANGs reporting. So Google reports. What else reports? Facebook reports, or Meta. Facebook, Google, PayPal reports, Nvidia reports. There's a couple other big ones that are reporting. They're all Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I think NVIDIA is going to have a hard time hitting their targets. Google might say something about advertising pulling back and people aren't spending money to advertise, which is going to be a little negative. And really, you have, I think Apple reports too. So I think they're going to see consumers slowing down spending. They might talk about chip issues and supply chain issues. So really NVIDIA, Google, Apple, and Tesla are like the big four that really hold up the market. If these all get really, mediocre or bad earnings, the market's going to pull down. I mean, everything's going to pull down. So, and then the smaller cap and mid cap stocks are going to sympathy sell, and then they go into earnings the following week and the week after. So I just have that all in my mind, just to be wary and careful and just keep cash on the sideline for that reason. Jerome Powell did speak this week. He was a little hawkish. I want to say he basically U-turned on us. So he did say it's likely we do a 0.5% rate hike come next meeting, which is the beginning of May. And then after that, he said he will look and see how it's doing, the market in general and the sentiment, but he wouldn't rule out doing 3 half-point rate hikes in May, June, and July. So that's a big difference from the 04 style, which he was talking about in March. So we just have to be prepared for, the worst. If he does 3 half-point rate hikes, that's fine. He might do that. He might halt the market, see where it all lays out, and then go from there. So I'm okay with that, but that just kind of changed my position on how aggressive I'm going to buy. So if they do 3 half-point rate hikes, just say mortgage rates, I think they're 5.25 right now on average, fixed 30s. Let's just say they go to 5.75 or 6%, and then the housing market just stops selling houses and it comes to a halt, and then there's a lot more supply, or there's an increasing amount of supply versus demand available, and it happens quick because the interest rates 6 months ago were 3%, a little under 3. So that's a big difference when you're talking house value. Every 1% is roughly 10% in the house value. So if you're doing a 3% increase, that's 30. What is that? That's 30% off value in just kind of comparing the two roughly. So we just got to keep that all in mind. So I just want to be a little patient with averaging costs down. Now, he could, in a month say, oh, the half basis rate hike at the end of May or June, right? But more they say, hey, we're seeing a lot of results. I feel like we're going to go back to a 1/4 point, or he hints at that. It's going to be very bullish for the market. Russia also has Victory Day. That is, that's May 9th. So that's coming up too. So whatever that means to them, but there is rumors and speculation that maybe they're going to leave Ukraine. I think they're really focusing on the eastern part of Ukraine right now, and if they take control of that, or they do whatever they do to feel like they won, they're going to celebrate on May 9th, saying that like they won the war in Ukraine, or their operation training was a success, or they're going to do something and they're going to spin it like that on May 9th. So if they leave Ukraine, that is obviously good for the people in Ukraine. It's good probably for the global economy. Obviously there's consequences with the sanctions and all that, but just the fact that they're out of there and there's no more per se war, like guerrilla warfare, that's going to be a bullish thing for the market. So we just have to factor all that in, or they keep going and they just, ignore that, and that isn't, that doesn't come true. So there's just a lot of things going on right now. Tomorrow I'm going to make a video on probably the stocks I'm looking at next week. Let me see where I'm at right now. Okay, yeah, I got some time. So I'm just going to roll through some stocks that I got completely hammered on Friday, in a day. So Affirm dropped 5%. It's at $31 right now, which is literally insane. If I look at the 5-year chart, well, 1-year chart, let's just call it, it's, it IPO'd at $65. It went up to $165. It's now $31. That's literally insane for that company. What else got completely destroyed yesterday? Corsair Gaming got completely annihilated. It fell 12%. This is a top 3 position of mine. Actually, I might make a video tomorrow about that, just to explain a little more my thoughts on that. So I will make a video about that tomorrow, because that's a big deal. Just kind of give you my thoughts on that company. What else dropped 5% plus? Square dropped 5% plus. So that is now at 102. The March lows were right around like $90. This stock pre-pandemic was sitting at like $75. So, you know, if it gets down to those levels, I mean, I don't know if it will. I keep saying that, but like if it gets to $75 pre-pandemic, all the things Square's done, just what they're going to do in the future, it's such a steal. My cost base is 142 on that. It hit over 260 at the highs of last summer. So that's another, like, I mean, that's an easy 2-3xer in the future, in my opinion. What else pulled back? And that's really it. I mean, Voyager, that's one of my crypto plays. It's not a huge position of mine, but it did pull back 7%. So that stock ran up to almost $30 at one point, and now it's down to $3, which is insane. So if you bought at the peak hype of crypto, Voyager, meme stocks, and all that stuff, small market caps, you just got annihilated if you sold it at an average cost down. So those are kind of the stocks that took really big hits. Not worried about any of them for the long term. If you guys like this video, I appreciate it. I think I'm over like 725 in subs, so much appreciated for that. Let's keep it going. Hopefully we can get to 800 by the end of May, hopefully. So I'm pretty optimistic I can do that just based on the way you guys are commenting, liking, subscribing, so it's much appreciated. So until tomorrow, peace.